Question 22, Don says, I'm sorry to ask such stupid questions, but I'm trying to determine something about space-time, time-space, and, you might say, this very difficult area of the mechanism of evolution. I think it is central to the understanding of our evolution. However, I'm not sure if this, and I may be wasting my time. Could Ra comment on whether I am wasting my time in this particular, and he chuckles, investigation, or whether it would be fruitful? Don gets a good laugh about his own reflection of, is this really important, or am I wasting my time here, Ra? Now, this is the golden answer of Ra, in which I will expand myself. Ra says, since the concepts of space-time or physics and time-space or metaphysics are mechanical, they are not central to the spiritual evolution of the mind-body-spirit complex. The study of love and light is far more productive in its motion towards unity in those entities pondering such concepts. However, this material is, shall we say, of some small interest and is harmless. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. Man, I just realized that my salt lamp is bright, super bright. That's because of the sun, not because of the bulb there. So, it just looks beautiful there, doesn't it? By the way, that little teddy bear that I keep there is a teddy bear that was given to me by my parents when I injured myself and almost lost my eye. I was like 2-3 years old at the time. So it has a lot of, everything that I keep has a lot of, speaking of motivation, has a lot of motivation and background to it. But yeah, that little teddy bear next to the brilliant ball of light that is my salt lamp. So when I was 2-3 years old, I almost lost my eye. Big accident with a nail in my eye, and I still have a scar. I don't see properly through this eye. Fun facts about myself that few people know, but more interesting stuff is this answer. Okay, so Don is saying, I'm trying to find out more about this space-time and time-space, and I think it's essential to the understanding of our evolution and so on. Ra explains, since the concepts of space-time or physics, right, what we know physics, atoms and particles and so on, all of this materialist science, or even beyond quantum mechanics and so on, all of this, space-time or physics, and time-space or metaphysics, which is the study of energy and chakras and polarities and all of these things, all of these, they are not central to the spiritual evolution of the mind-body-spirit complex because they are mechanical. They have nothing to do with you, with the creator, with the self, with consciousness. They are derived from consciousness. They are apparent in nature, but they are not real. Now, if you don't believe what I'm saying, that they are not real, let me read to you my favorite quote, which you're probably sick of it because I read it all the time. But Don, in question 33 of session 57, asked basically the same question. Can you tell me the difference, between these things, space-time and time-space? Expand on these, please. And Ra says, the space-time and time-space concepts are those concepts describing as mathematically as possible the relationships of your illusion. That which is seen to that which is unseen. The perception of separation. That's the illusion. These descriptive terms are clumsy. They, however, suffice for this work. Now here's the golden nugget. They say, in the experiences of the mystical search for unity, these need never be considered, for they are part of an illusory system. The seeker seeks the one. This one is to be sought, as we have said, by the balance and self-accepting self, aware both of its apparent distortions and its total perfection. So, seeking why you're so distorted, seeking why you're so, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, all of that seeking is just seeking and trying to understand the refraction of light instead of the source of the light. It's like looking at my lamp salt right now and saying, my God, look how beautiful it is. I wonder what it is. Why is it? Look at the source. The source is the source of all light, actually, the sun. So in this case, it is your own source. That's really what you should be interested in. Yeah, you will see your body and say, oh, it's changing, and I do this and I do that. That's the physical body, you know, and I can relate to people this way, and I can do these things and so on. That's the physical body. But all of this is created for the Creator to know itself. Now, what is the most important question that regards the recognition of the Creator, especially in the self, is who am I? That's the key question. And as we explore who am I, you know, I am. And that I am is what needs to be explored, in my humble opinion. So, you see, this is what's really important. It's not really our exploration of the metaphysics. And some people get too caught up in this. And this is the part what I wanted to expand. I see a lot of people who study the raw material, and they come to me, and it's fascinating to see how we have been in touch with this learning of metaphysics and who am I and me being a wanderer, all these identities and fears that start to be generated. I would say that these are distortions that need to be alleviated from the study of the raw material. Because I remember when I started reading the raw material that this was actually clarifying all the fears and distortions that I had back then, when I was getting into all kinds of confusing metaphysics and shamanism and who you are and what is God and what is the Garden of Eden and so on. I mean, it was just multiple things that confused me so much. And then the law of one in parallel with non-duality just gave me the view that I needed. And I said, well, it's this simple. Metaphysics now, it's much more fun to be explored because I am not that. I'm just exploring what it is. You know, your personality dissolves. There is no other self. I mean, you are you, and that's all there is. And that's not you, the egoic self. It's you, the everything, consciousness. So everything really resolves from here. That's why Ra was so adamant in giving material that was helpful to know the self. And we'll get to that when we get into the archetypical mind. My God, Ra was really excited then. So they say, again, I'll just read it because I find it beautiful. Ra said, since the concepts of space-time or physics and time-space or metaphysics are mechanical, they are not central to the spiritual evolution of the mind-body-spirit complex. The spiritual evolution of a mind-body-spirit complex is simply the fractal going back into completion, going back into the realization of the self. And so the mind-body-spirit complex is the window in which the Creator is seeing the illusion, but it seeks to know itself, and that's the way back to source. So space-time and time-space, they need not be considered. That's it. Now, to finish up this beautiful paragraph, Ra says, the study of love and light is far more productive in its motion towards unity in those entities pondering such concepts. However, this material is harmless, basically, what they say. So the study of love and light is far more productive in its motion towards unity in those entities pondering such concepts. So those entities pondering such concepts about metaphysics and physics and so on, well, maybe the study of love and light, which are the keys for us to see unity in everything. They are the signposts Whatever you see love or you seek love, you will find unity. Wherever you seek light, light being wisdom, in this case, to me, not just physical light, but of course, light as in wisdom, love and wisdom. That's what you seek. Heart and throat chakra. Yeah, the spiritual work, the mind. This is understanding the mind. Remember, in Japanese they call it kokoro. It's the same as in Chinese. Shin is this one mind, heart and brain. Joe Dispenza calls it coherence of the heart and the brain. So all of this is ancient. All of this is just a recognition of what we are. So yes, that is my take on this. Space-time and time-space are irrelevant. They don't need to be studied. But you could study it. That's all well and good. Just don't believe that you're going to find yourself there. And this is my thing. I believe that a lot of people have bought into the time space or metaphysics in search for unity, thinking that they will find unity in the golden beam of light, in the violet ray of Metatron or Enoch or whatever. All of these things are beautiful studies, but they do not lead you to yourself. The path to the self is inwards. The path to the self is devoid of everything, because the self is everything. And so you first need to understand the void of the self, to understand what it contains. At least that's how I see it. That's just my point of view. Let's move on.